Okay, today I'm going to do the promised Enchantress stream. It's a pretty basic Rest in Peace Helm of Obedience version, except I'm playing two Helm of Obedience, because I think like if they discard or counter one, you just need to have a second one. It's never bad. And I'm playing two Doomwake Giants, so also two Bayous, because like Grixis Delver is very popular and it just stops Angler and Young Pyromancer and stuff. And Elves or Death and Taxes, or I don't know, it's just it's always been pretty good to me. I'm testing out one kind of strange card. I don't think it's very good, but like it probably won't hurt like trying it out for one league. It's a Gideon's Intervention. It's kind of a Nevermore for one more mana that also prevents damage if they already resolve the creature with the name, basically. The problem is you can't name tokens like Married Lage because it's not a card and you have to choose. But if they have like a true name and you're at 2 life, this may still like save you. Or if you need to resolve Helm of Obedience, you can put this on Force of Will. And if you're playing against Storm, you can name Tendrils of Agony. If in pre-board and post-board, you can name like Chain of Vapor to protect your Leyline of Sanctity. I'm only playing one Sterling Grove main deck, because there aren't that many people playing Abrupt Decay main these days. And I'm playing one in the sideboard, like in case you're playing against a Wear Tear deck, or against Storm and you really need to protect your leyline. Like it's good to have more of these effects. Then playing only 19 lands and 2 Serra Sanctum. Normally I prefer playing 20 lands, but I'm trying out swapping one land with Lotus Petal to be able to play Rest in Peace on turn 1 or Argosian Enchantress on turn 1, like very rarely. Or if you're drawing a lot of cards and you already made land drop, this may keep you going. In the sideboard I'm playing not a lot of strange cards, I think actually. Maybe Swords to Plowshares is uncommon, or at least not usual, but it answers Leovold and like pretty much any problematic creature. Like if you play Oblivion Ring, they might Abrupt Decay it and get back the Leovold, and Swords of Plowshares is better against Infect, where Oblivion Ring is pretty bad and slow, and maybe against Reanimator or whatever stuff that puts on creatures that you really need to kill early game. Then Thoughtseize and Surgical Extraction are against combo decks. Like the Thoughtseize is, well, I guess pretty much any combo deck, and Surgical is because like sometimes Rest in Peace is just too slow against some decks, like Black Red. Then I'm also playing a Trinisphere, just against random Storm decks, Alluran. They probably have a way to answer it, but it might slow them down. Engineered Plague is because Elves is very bad, because they have Reclamation Sage and Wirewood Symbiote, and they just destroy everything like Elephant Grass and Solitary Confinement that you might play to stop them from killing you. I'm also playing one Reclamation Sage in the sideboard against people who might side in Leyline of Sanctity against the Helm of Obedience, or against Omnitel, Sneak Attack, even Chalice of the Void, Eldrazi. And I'm choosing Reclamation Sage because you can tutor it up with Reasons in it. Like Seal of Primordium gets played a lot as well, but yeah, making it tutorable might make up for it not being an enchantment. Sometimes people play Galactique as a tutorable target as well, but because it stops Helm of Obedience, I'm not 100% sure that I like it, because with Helm at least you have an automatic I win button against Storm, and Teague, like you need to attack a lot of turns and they might find an out to your Teague and then kill you in the same turn. Humility is also against Elves to stop their Reclamation Sage, and against stuff putting annoying creatures into play, like Show and Tell, Dark Depths, Turbo Depths, maybe not lands, I'm not sure if I would do it. Depends on how many cards I can take out. A Leyline of Sanctity against Storm. Like Storm is already too bad even with Leyline, so it wouldn't be worth the spot. But because it also stops burn, I think it's still worth having it in. So let's try it out. And I think last time I went 3 and 2 with a similar list. Like it was before I put in the Gideon's Intervention as a tryout, and I think I had like a Chromox instead to have more turn 1 plays. But I found like pitching a card to Chromox, like the deck wants to have a lot of cards in the beginning to start drawing cards, and afterwards you have plenty of cards to exile, but in your opening hand, I know it's tricky. XX White Mogwai. I think that's the first time I play against them. This card, I should really mulligan. Like, it would almost be tempting to load this Petal into Carpet of Flowers into Miriskyle if they're on a blue deck, but you probably just lose to any disruption or not actually drawing the land, or them playing Chalice and not playing islands. So this looks not great, but turn 2 Rest in Peace, turn 3 Enchantress Presence. Like, really you want to play this on turn 2, but like mulliganing to 5 is even worse. And we'll leave this on top, in case they play like stupid shit like Iona, Grizzlebrand, Marit Lage. And to have a third land for Enchantress Presence. Death and Taxes is pretty bad with this hand, I think. Like I'm gonna play the fetch land to avoid getting wastelanded or Rishad unboarded. That's why I don't fetch yet. But they have Revoker against Helm of Obedience, and that's why we also need Doomwake Giant. But we just don't have a lot of mana, so unfortunately they also are stuck on 1 land. I think I want to fetch here already, because I don't want to draw another land, and they can't punish us for fetching already. Here I think I should fetch the basic plains. Like, I really would like to keep it to fetch a black one for Doomwake Giant, but if they waste us, we are not able to play Enchantress Presence next turn. They might have Talia to slow us down another turn. I mean, if they keep this hand without a Mother of Runes and just a Vial, I think they should have strong 2-drop. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would keep it if I were a Death and Taxes player. That's the Thalia. And then maybe, I don't know, Reeve. Oh. So this is tricky. Like, if you just play normal land and hope to pay 4 mana for Presence next turn, they might wasteland us, but if we play Caracas and they wasteland us, at least we can bounce the Thalia and they can file it in again, but I know it's more annoying for them. And Caracas is not that great against Death and Taxes anyway. And it will force them to keep the file on too. Okay, they put it on 3, so if they don't waste us, we can end of turn Natalia and they can't put it back in again. And then we can play Enchantress Presence and Elephant Grass, both of them, next turn. Yeah, Doomwake Giant and not getting it Swords to Plowshare is one of the more important things in this matchup. Because they have they tend to play a lot of main deck Variation Revokers, maybe less with Miracles banned, but they can still tutor it with Recruiter of the Guard. So Helm of Obedience usually is not like you can't kill them with it without removing their creatures first. Okay. So if they have Flicker Wisp and I bounce Talia, they flicker it back in, it comes back, and they, yeah. Then we still have to pay 4 for Enchantress Presence, but that would, okay, that's not the worst card in the future, even though it's also weak to Flicker Wisp. So I would never rely just on one solitary confinement if they get us down to a low life total. Yeah, our opponent really has a hand that's a bit too slow. Like, if they had any better opening hand, we would probably be in a very bad position. That's okay. It doesn't really do anything against the cards we have. It will only be harder to cast the Wake Giant. I think they really should have played Thalia. I mean, we can bounce it, but still taxing our mana in some way, because then we would need to pay for Elephant Grass, tap Caracas, and we'd only have 2 mana to work with. And now, after paying Elephant Grass, we still have 3 mana for our enchantments. I'm gonna pay with white, because I have too many of these. And then, like, usually it's better to play Argothian first to get more draws of your next presence, but I just want to have the draw this turn. Like, I want to draw as many cards as possible. I mean, basically you would be trading 1 draw this turn for an extra draw next turn anyway, so it doesn't, it's not, okay. Sterling Grove is actually pretty good because it will make Doomwake Giants immune to their removal. Now I hope we draw another land because I want to keep paying for Elephant Grass, and if I also need to bounce Talia again, then I need 2 lands to play the Sterling Grove. Because bouncing the Talia is better than using it to just pay for the extra mana. What did he? So for Fire and Ice, that's actually a good choice. Yes, I want to pay to prevent, because that's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage a turn. That is preventing. Then I will play Sterling Grove. Sterling Grove will also protect our Elephant Grass and Solitary Confinement from Flicker Wisp. End of turn, untap and Alpha Strike. Or they would need like a double Sterling Grove. I think next turn I'm gonna sacrifice Elephant Grass, because like paying 3 will really limit our options. And with the Sterling Grove out, Solitary Confinement should also be sufficient. Unless they have like double Flicker Wisp. But there's always some card you die to. And then we can like sprawl this forest, draw 2 cards, hope to draw another land, sprawl that land. Then we have 5 mana available. They draw an extra card, I don't care. Also, not paying for Elephant Grass might allow us to actually draw Helm of Obedience at some point in this turn and just outright kill them. Alright. I'm not sure. Wait. I'm not sure if it's safe to fetch yet, or we might just hope to draw into a non-fetch land. I'm gonna name green here, so I can first play another enchantment like the Elephant Grass or Mirror's Guile. I use a second one to sprawl a forest if we draw one. So I'm gonna drop Mirror's Guile. No, actually Elephant Grass, in case we don't have mana to pay for confinement. Okay, that's another fetch land. Let me see, how many fetchable, like how many targets do we have? We have like 6, 7, 8 fetchable lands. We already have 3 of them, so we have 5 left in 37 cards. Actually, this is still like very bad, so I think I might first jam Solitary Confinement because I really want to resolve it this turn. To have like double insurance. Yeah, and we didn't draw anything in the top 2, so I think it was good we didn't fetch yet. Now, whoa, still nothing. Okay, that's okay. We should have plenty of mana. That's maybe a Flicker Wisp, targets the Sterling Grove, and then in his next turn another Flicker Wisp for confinement. Yeah, it's good, we have both the grass and the confinement. Because he would need like a double, like Vile Flicker Wisp and Hardcast Flicker Wisp. Oh, actually he can pay for 2 creatures if he has another Flicker Wisp. Yeah, this is gonna deal 7 damage, so we can't fetch anymore. I think we're already drawing enough, and we can't use it as a blocker because of the flying. If I'm drawing more, I want to draw them off Enchantress Presence anyway. So they need to not have a Flicker Wisp, or we're dead to like 9 damage in the air. Recruiter for Flicker Wisp is okay, because then they can only pay for at most one card to attack if they have a land. By the way, I hope the sound is better right now, because I had some complaints about the previous video and I turned the desktop recording off, and I also turned the modo sounds as low as possible. Oh, so now we have the Sterling Grove back, so we should be fine. I'm gonna pay for both of them. Yes. I'm gonna discard. Actually, I could have just ditched this and played the second one, I guess. I'm not too worried about... Actually, this has named Sterling Grove. Yeah, I don't think we need a Banishing Light. Or Actually, I think Enchantress Presence. I'm not gonna play two of them this turn. I'm gonna make this land very weak to Flicker Wisp. Oh, Thalia. Return Thalia to their hand. Utopia Sprawl these forests. We're gonna have 4 mana, so we can't Doomwake. I'm gonna name black to have 2 black sources. Then I'm gonna play another Presence. And like, he needs a Flicker Wisp on this land and Wasteland for the Bayou. Oh, he concedes. Alright. Plague might be good. I'm gonna make a different sideboard pile. Plague on like the Horror or something would be good. Reclamation Sage kills like some of their annoying things. I'm not sure it's great, but this is because they have like the Flicker Wisps. I might consider Swords to Plowshares for their I don't think it's necessary against Death and Taxes. Carp of Flowers does nothing except draw some cards. Sometimes I cut one Zenith because of Thalia and all the taxing, and maybe even Mind Sensor if they're playing it main deck. I think I don't need Swords of Plowshares because they probably side out Mother of Runes, but I still think actually Gideon's Intervention is pretty bad because they have Vial and I'm gonna leave in one Swords of Plowshares in case of like I don't know, they always have good targets. But the intervention, like they have Vial, so you can't name Flicker Wisp. Like you can name Flicker Wisp, but it doesn't do enough. And this is a mulligan. Like with one land, I would still keep it. Like you can sprawl the land, and you have at least like 2 mana to work with. But this is pretty bad because it's not a basic. Like if they have Wasteland, you die. But I might keep it, hope to scry to a basic, which I don't. And then like instead of sprawling it, I just plow it and hope to draw a second land to play Argothian. Because every time I sprawl a non-basic, they just have Wasteland. Draw a basic. Yes, okay. So we get regular forests. We sprawl this one. And they can do whatever. Like I might actually Zenith first if they don't have a hate bear against it, because I don't want to play the Argothian plus the Elephant Grass. Oh, they kept another one lander. Now I'm really feel like this may not be great if they draw more land, but it's just the possibility of like them being stuck on one land for several turns are just too great. Alright. Normally it's not this easy to play against Death and Taxes. So you shouldn't take this like to be a good matchup just by these 2 games. Turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, turn 2 Enchantress, except if they have days. I'm gonna keep this. I hate Gitaxian Probe, like it just takes away the surprise of what I'm playing. And it means they're gonna Cabal Therapy me or Storm me, both of which I can't really stop. I don't think it's ban worthy. It's still the only cards that I actually, I don't know, that really always pisses me off when somebody plays it against me. Like just when you hear the sound of them paying the life. Alright, I'm going to not play around days for the Utopia Sprawl, but I might play around days for the presence. I'm gonna name, I wanna have double green and white next turn. I don't need black yet. But yeah, probe in a Death Rite deck, that's less bad than probe into Dark Ritual, into do stuff my deck can't beat. Yeah, sorry for complaining, by the way. It's, oh, are they Brainstorm locked? Oh no, they aren't. Okay, I think now I might play into Daze because I have three of these effects. He already knows about the presence, so playing that is better against them having therapy. And Zenith, of course, is better because it draws us an extra card next turn. Like, I mean, at least we get Enchantress to draw cards of these two instead of one less. I think I'm gonna play Presence, so they're less likely to name it with therapy. And you would need to have Daze for this and Force of Will for the next one. Okay, they don't have Daze. Pyromancer, maybe? That's a very good card. So I'm gonna fetch a basic, and this should make us the black, this or this should make us the black mana afterwards. Now I am gonna get, like, I don't think they play Liliana in Pyromancer decks. So they shouldn't have any way to deal with this. Done. Get Argothian, play Carpet, get 1 mana, use the mana to play Utopia Sprawl. This one, and I feel like naming white. Because 1 black will be enough to play anything we have, and we might need several white sources in a single turn. Because usually I name green with this to start playing the growths on the lands before tapping the lands. Weird, they're keeping open the wasteland. At least if they keep open the underground sea, they're like faking to have a stifle or a spell pierce. And it's not like they're gonna waste me in my turn. Usually it's better to wait until your own turn. So let's see, I have 4 mana available. I did not play a land. So if I draw a land with playing Enchantress Presence so I can wild growth it, that would be the best option. But if I don't draw a land, it could be better to first play wild growth. Like, it would optimize the amount of mana we can use this turn. Like, at least it's a gut feeling. Like, maybe I didn't actually do the math, but okay, we did draw a land. So we can Utopia Sprawl that forest, wild growth it, then we can play Elephant Grass and whatever we draw, if we draw more 1-drops. Like that one. Or we don't even need to do that. I don't think they play I don't think they play Decay in the sideboard of these 4-color decks. I might leave one in just to be sure, but I think most of this deck is already pretty good against them. Like, I'm not sure about Engineered Plague, not sure about Sterling Grove. Maybe Swords to Plowshares just to slow them down, like kill their turn 1 Delver or Deathrite. I think this is too slow, especially on the draw. This, I don't know what I would actually name against them, because they have too many threats with different names. Elfin Grass, mana I definitely can't cut. Banishing Light, I don't know, it's slow, but it's like a slower version of Swords to Plowshares. This can possibly go, and I know this against. This seems like it. Actually, I don't care about the tokens so much, so I'm gonna try this on the draw. It's bad that we don't draw cards with it from Enchantress, but they only have a few creatures we need to kill anyway. This does nothing except stall them, so I'm gonna mulligan this. Like, if this also had an Argotian, like, I would definitely keep it, just even if you have only one draw spell. But yeah, I mean, either they therapy that with their hand, or we plow their Deathrite and Delver, and then they play Pyromancer, and we can't pay for the upkeep forever. And we just or they force our only useful spell if we top deck one. Like, sometimes I will keep hands without an Enchantress or Zenith, but either they have Mirror's Guile, or I already mulliganed, and I think like the Scry from the mulligan will be better than mulligan to like 4 or 5. This is better. Like, it's a turn 2 Greens and Zenith with Daze protection. No Force of Will protection, but that's not possible. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna guess they don't have Stifle. I'm just gonna use a fetch land turn 1. Okay, that's better than the basic forest. Get the basic. I'm gonna get my Utopia Sprawl protection from Daze. I'm gonna name white so I can fetch another basic with that one. Yeah, I'm not sure next turn if the Zenith resolves, if I want to sacrifice the petal to play Elephant Grass. Maybe. I think like the board, like the extra draw isn't worth having to sacrifice the grass without any creatures. Okay. I think now, actually just against the Delver and them being mana screwed. Wait, he pondered, he did not shuffle. That's interesting. Does that mean it means he did not draw a second land? It's really tempting to play the Rest in Peace, but we might die just to the, I don't know. This is like we have to choose if you want to be greedy. I think playing Rest in Peace is very greedy, because you might shut them off completely, and you might just slow your own game plan down too much and die to their game plan, like just attacking you for a lot of damage. And playing Rest in Peace is like almost the same as playing Banishing Light on the Deathrite. But at least this furthers our own Helm of Obedience combo plan. Actually, I'm gonna try this. I mean, Enchantress is a fun deck, so you should take the fun choice. Alright, goodbye, that's right. At least we'll get some information about cards in his hand. He revealed Electricity. Okay, it's a good thing we didn't play, like, didn't give him the reds plus colorless mana to kill our Enchantress that we fetched. I'm gonna guess he still doesn't have a red source. So now I'm gonna Zenith. He probably lets it resolve because of Electricity, if he has a red source close by, and at least we get the draw of the Elephant Grass and protect some damage next turn. Alright. I'm pretty confident we can kill the Delver, and this with either Swords or Banishing Light. I don't care. It doesn't. I don't need Elephant Grass. Like, we can get rid of this, and just the 1/2 creature shouldn't be too big of a nuisance. I am going to. Does he have Leovold? Like, do we need to keep the Banishing Light? No. Or I think he only has creatures to kill with this, so it's kind of this. Oh, our opponents are really conceding a lot today. Game 3. Jesse Borg. That's an auto mulligan. 0 mana in hand. Mulligan. This is a pretty useless hand, but I'm gonna keep because I don't like mulliganing to 5, and I hope to scry away anything that's not an Enchantress, and then draw one like in turn 2 or 3. So I'm gonna keep this, gonna bottom this, I'm gonna sprawl my forest, and then hope to have something to do with 3 mana. That looks like Storm. It's probably Storm. If it was not a polluted Delta, I wouldn't have put him on Storm, but this is clearly gonna signal him that he's free to go and just kill us without any protection. But yeah, I didn't feel like not playing anything and conceding if he starts storming. Like, he's still gonna board in the bounce spells, even if he doesn't know what we are. Like, I think Storm against any random deck just sideboards Chain of Vapor or Echoing Truth, because they're always gonna wanna bounce a Gravedigger's Cage or Hate Bear. Okay, maybe Show and Tell. Oh yeah, Show and Tell. Show and Tell also plays just any random blue fetches. Okay, I guess Show and Tell, we drop Helm, And then we Caracas in our own turn. Like, I don't want to reveal it yet. And if we top deck Rest in Peace, we already have a win con. Elfin Grass is also pretty good against Grizzlebrand. Now he's gonna draw. I'm going to f6. I think I'm gonna wait with Caracasing him until he's beginning of combat. So he can't like sneak attack or like after he started attacking. Because otherwise he might just go like soul land, sneak attack, battle, and put in something. Like he might just put it back in with actually Helm of Obedience and just getting an Emrakul of his. Like, if you're not drawing anything and he's about to kill us, I think I'm just gonna try and get an Emrakul off the top of his library. I mean, it might like remove our only win con. We're ever gonna draw this game by having to sacrifice this. But if we sacrifice this, it means we are getting a creature. Anyway. Actually, I think I'm gonna do this regardless of what he's doing. Alright. Because we don't have to sacrifice this when he doesn't reveal a creature. So we're gonna have either a Grizzlebrand, an Emrakul, or our Helm of Obedience will not be sacrificed. Yeah, Emrakul would be great. But if he ponders and makes sure there are no two Emrakuls on top. Like if he sees the line we're gonna take, he might like leave two trash cards on top and makes us mill them away. But that's not really what I'm afraid of. Like that's not gonna make us. That's not gonna be the thing that makes us lose. Like he already has 15 cards. I'm sure he has something. So we're gonna let him attack. I'm gonna return it to his hand. He should play another land, because it's impossible that he doesn't have any mana. Oh, he shuffled his ponder, so he doesn't know what's on top. Green, so I'm gonna fetch for show and tell, so I'm gonna fetch for basic plains. He doesn't want to show and tell in the face of Caracas. Give me Emrakul or Grizzlebrand, please. No. Those were pretty dead cards. That's a pity. Yeah, he's probably digging for the sneak attack. Route to victory. So next turn a red source, he has sneak attack and activate. So we need to resolve Elephant Grass. But I'm sure he has like Force of Will in hand. I can't see him not having it. Oh yeah, if he attacks, I can actually Caracas it. Because if he has a petal and can put it back in, I lose. But if he only has like the 5 mana to activate it once, Yes, activate it at the end of our next turn, like not this turn, but the turn after. So we're not dead yet. Like he has a force, sneak attack, petal, emrakul, and griselbrands all together, or something like that. Or even just emrakul, because if we Caracas it after he starts attacking, we still have to sacrifice, and if we Caracas it before he attacks, then he can put it back in with the petal and attack again. And we still have to sacrifice. Okay, Cunning Wish, he might be on Omniscience, like he might be trying to get into play Omniscience Emrakul, but it's strange that he doesn't have it yet, in that case. Okay, this is on green, so I guess it doesn't hurt to have another planes. Let's see what he does about Elephant Grass. If he forces it, I'm gonna jam the second one. Even though it will make our Enchantresses of the top very bad. I'm gonna use the floating mana to dig one deeper to his Emrakul. No, none of those. But at least he won't be top decking a Ponder into whatever he needs. End of turn Cunning Wish. Or Intuition Cunning Wish. For Echoing Truth on something like that. I don't know what he could want here. Intuition? Because he already has Omniscience but no Wincon? No. Yeah, Intuition. So maybe he's on Omniscience. I mean, with Cunning Wish, it already looks like the Omni Sneak, like 3 sneak attack, 2 or 3 Omniscience. I really don't like Leyline in this matchup, but Leyline would stop Intuition. So if we get Solitary Confinement, that would nullify his Intuitions. Oh yeah, actually Leyline is okay if they're on the Omniscience into Release the Ants plan. But I'm not sure if I want to sideboard 4 cards just for stopping like one very fringe thing that his deck is doing. But it's like if we don't have enough cards, I would put in Leyline just against that part of his deck. Okay, what's he gonna do with all that mana? 4 mana, play Sneak Attack. He really must be drawing dead cards, because he should have enough things to beat both of these. If he plays Sneak Attack and only activates on our end step, then we only have 1 Caracas activation, and he should be able to have enough mana untapped to activate Sneak Attack multiple times and still pay for Elephant Grass. But I've actually noticed that a lot of show and tell players have not realized you can end of turn activate Sneak Attack, like against a card that makes the creatures enter tapped. and they enter tapped at the end of my turn, and you can still untap them afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna get another free land. That's fine with me. It will help me pay for Elephant Grass and more Helm of Obedience activations. I choose Windsor Teeth. Oh. Yeah, Omniscience into Emrakul, or Intuition into Emrakul is pretty bad for us. Because then he untaps, he has enough mana, like he gets an extra turn, he has enough mana to pay for Elephant Grass. We bounce it, and then he just can cast it again for a free extra turn. Yeah, Omniscience makes this a lot harder to beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which card do we want to keep? I mean, I'm still gonna bounce it just to annoy him. And to make him go through even more. Okay, why not? I mean, I guess we both wanna get as many cards and activations out of this game as possible. So I'm gonna bounce this. He's gonna sneak it in again. No, then he doesn't have 4 mana. Actually, he does. He only needs 2 mana because he can't attack with Grizzle. So I'm gonna bounce this. He's gonna sneak it back in. I'm gonna sacrifice a lot of stuff. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna keep Caracas, I think, and next turn play Savannah and Elephant Grass again, in case he sneaks in Emrakul and has to sacrifice it. And then he only has Grizzlebrand, which is bad against these two. Into his hand, he can have Brainstorm. That's least likely to do anything. Cunning Wish kills us of Omniscience. Miracle stops our plan if he wants to sneak it back in. I think he should just recast it if we bounce it, but if he's greedy he might sneak it in and give us 1 more turn to find that out. Okay, now we can... He's already used like a lot of time. It's just like 11 minutes. He's used like 11 minutes to... Actually, I might actually fetch to thin my deck, because the damage isn't gonna make a difference. Or... No, it's just gonna recast it, okay. Whoa. Why didn't he just recast it with Omniscience? I really don't understand this person. Like, we might actually kill him if we manage to mill an Emrakul off his deck. I'm not gonna fetch a black land, because I don't want to show him that we're on a black splash. So he might end of turn sneak attack. Attack us, we sacrifice a bunch of stuff. And first we tap everything to helm him. Alright, you can have your Emrakul. You can have your turns. You can't attack with that one. Do I even care about bouncing the Emrakul? Or actually I think getting one more card of the helm is better. Like but he can block my Emrakul with his Grizzlebrand. That's also annoying. So maybe I need to also keep Caracas. One needs to bounce this at the end of his turn and sacrifice 4. This is gonna give him an extra turn, so I'm not gonna. So I need to bounce. Well, he might just cast another. So I need to keep the Caracas, but I can use it in my own turn to bounce it if I get. So I think I just need to get as many possible hits at the creature as possible. Ah, nothing. Okay, then we're pretty dead. Alright. Sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. But I'm just gonna let him use his time. Like if you win game 2 and he really plays this slowly, I don't know. I don't like wasting people's time too much. But like if you can win a game because your opponent is wasting a lot of his time, then I'm gonna let him resolve the trigger. Okay. I think we're actually pretty close to having a chance here. Yeah, I want to keep this, like just to. It's bad against Emrakul, but it's okay against Grizzlebrand. You can name Sneak Attack. This can get Sneak Attack and Omniscience. This is okay against Omniscience. Okay, I'm gonna leave this in. This is a maybe pile. I think these are. This is maybe. These are certainly good. This I may cut. Sterling Grove in case he has Wipe Away, which he probably does. This stops not enough, because it only stops Grizzlebrand, but they still draw all the cards to get another one. And this Surgical is good against, if you thought Caesar Show and Tell, or something like that. Or Surgical against Intuition. Banishing Light is good. Solitary Confinement is good against the Omniscience Cutting Wish plan, but it's bad against the Annihilator trigger. Elephant Grass is good against Grizzlebrand, but bad against Annihilator, so yeah, this one can go for sure. I think Helm Rest in Peace is the way I want to go. If I have Leyline of Sanctity, I have Rexage for that. I can take out one Elephant Grass because it only stops Grizzlebrand. I'm not sure if Wipe Away is a big concern. I think Solitary doesn't stop enough of their whatever they're trying to do. Trinisphere is only good against dedicated Omnital builds, and I'm gonna take out one wild growth, I think. Because they're gonna give us free Helm of Obedience with their show and tell. Or free humility. I would like to play first, yes. Okay, I like this. I'm gonna go for turn 1 Utopia Sprawl or Carpet. Turn 2 Rest in Peace, hope they don't counter. And then if they show and tell, I have Banishing Light and Helm of Obedience. It may be a little bit risky, but I feel it's like if he's a really good show and tell player that only tries to go off sneak attack, because he knows we have a lot of permanents to put into play with show and tell, or then he might be able to like play around it. But so that's 2-3 mana. I think I'm gonna play Rest in Peace just to disable his show and tell, or disable. Make sure if you play show and tell, he's dead. I could have played Carpet of Flowers first to make sure we have like a lot of mana next turn. Come on, show and tell us, bro. Show and tell us. Brainstorm, Ponder. Yeah. Even if he puts in Omniscience of the show and tell and tries to kill us with Release the Ants, then actually if we exile his whole deck, he can't clash, like he can't put his Emrakul to clash on top. He reveals a 0 and he can't return the Release the Ants to repeat the cycle. Actually, now that we drew Serra's Sanctum, I'm really sad we don't have a second green. Like we could play Zenith first, and then have one green floating, play Carpet, draw cards, and so if you don't draw a green source, I might be tempted. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to play Carpet first. I guess it depends on how much mana we have. Lotus Petal. I might Banishing Light this Lotus Petal if we have the mana and nothing else to do, because otherwise you could have Soul Land, Sneak Attack and activate it. But he might just be using it for a Spell Pierce as well. I'm gonna get me a Bayou. Let's see, I can't keep, I have to keep a white floating. 1, 2, 3, no. 1, 2, 3, done. We're gonna carve the flowers. Okay, we won't have mana floating now to activate Helm of Obedience in response to the clashing thing. You can't play around everything. Actually, no, we won't have 3 mana to Vanishing Light the petal. So if he has Sneak Attack, then we're in a pretty bad spot. Then we need to Sneak Attack. We have in an Emrakul. We have to leave like these two give us like 3 mana. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we would leave. Nah, I'm not sure. If he ever resolves Annihilator, I think we're dead. Because keeping one permanent, I would still keep Carpet of Flowers because it will give us the most mana of anything we can keep here. And then, like, if he has a third land, we might still get white mana for the Vanishing Light on his sneak attack. He's playing it very slowly. I'm going to... I think it doesn't make sense to trick him into sacrificing it just for 1 extra mana. Because if he doesn't sacrifice it and we change our line, then we might not have taken the optimal line just to hope to get 1 more mana. So this will give us 3 mana, that's 5. Like if I play Utopia Sprawl first, Serra Sanctum give 1 more mana. But if I play Zenith first, I get to draw 1 more card. I think I Zenith first and then put the Sprawl on the Bayou. Like we can still keep. That's for 2. Yes. I'm gonna get Argothian. He doesn't have Kozilek's Return. Then I'm gonna Sprawl the Bayou for green. Okay, Surgical is pretty dead. I choose green. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 mana. I think I'm gonna jam the Helm. If he has force, he counters it. If he doesn't he dies. But if he counters it, he might not think we have a second one in hand, and he might still go for the show and tell. Okay, he pitched the show and tell. Let's hope he's not going for sneak attack. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 permanents. So we can keep 1, 2, 3. I still have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will actually, if you have to sacrifice 6 permanents and we leave Carpet of Flowers, Rest in Peace, Serra Sanctum, we have 5 mana to Helm of Obedience him still. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. But sneak attack into Griselbrand, into draw, Emrakul will still kill us. Cunning Wish for what's it called? Kozilek's Return. Oh, he has 3 cards. Does he still have Force plus blue card? Yeah. If he kills the Argothians, I really have to decide whether I think he has Force plus blue card and play it very slowly and safely. Oh, intuition. I thought everybody played Kozilek's Return in their wish board. Blood Moon means we're going to lose. The Utopia Sprawl here, and we're going to lose 2 of our Carpet of Flower mana, but we still have white mana here. Okay. Usually Blood Moon is not so good, but in this case it's actually not the worst for him. I might fetch a Rex Sage. I don't know, let's see if it's really worth it. Green mana. We have now, if we get a Rex Sage, we can't really do anything with but this looks like so he has Intuition in hand, and so one of the two other cards has to be Force of Will. I think I'm going for the Rex Sage and see where it goes from there. He might be inclined to counter the Rex Sage if you think he really needs the Blood Moon. Rex Sage, kill your Blood Moon. Yes, I want to use this. I can use Banishing Light to draw 2 cards, but then no, maybe it was not the best line. Because we let him end up with the Intuition, and that means he can tutor for Force of Will to counter our Helm if we decide to play it. Show and tell, yes. I will. I give you a sneak attack and the Grizzlebrand, and then draws into Emrakul. Okay. Helm of Obedience. Oh, let's see. Now he's going for Intuition. And if you exile his graveyard in response, his deck in response, he actually can't Intuition for anything. That's funny. So I'm not gonna activate the Helm until he plays Intuition. Then I'm gonna cast Banishing Light in my turn for the Omniscience to force him into the Intuition, and then in response I can still exile it. And our opponent will have to win the next game in 6 minutes. And we still have 13 or 12. Yeah, it's probably gonna take a minute to think if there's any way he can still win with the card in his hand. But I'm pretty sure there is nothing to play around both Banishing Light and Helm of Obedience. But he doesn't know we have Banishing Light. Okay. Yeah, sure. I don't need the mana, but I might as well just make 3 white, get a free Banishing Light. I'm going to be drawing some cards that I don't need. I think our opponent should just concede to preserve his time. I mean, his deck can win like turn 2, 3. So like, he has a better chance of winning with 5 minutes than I would have if I were having only 5 minutes left. Alright, game 3. Do you have anything to stall the game into him like losing on time? This might be enough to make the game go slower, but I'm not sure if that's worth it. I still think these are better, like protecting stuff from his wish board. No, actually, I think he's not gonna wish for wipe away, or at least then he can't wish for something else. And so he took out this and I'm gonna put this like a wild growth. Like I'm gonna put in back the third confinement, just to be able to stall more. Okay, turn 1 Thoughtseize or turn 1 Argotian are both very good. I think I want to turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 1 Argotian, plus have Utopia's Sprawl mana. Like, because if he has Ancient Doom, turn 2 Show and Tell, then our Thoughtseize is gonna be too late. He's really thinking long on this pawn there. I mean, it's not a problem for me, since we're ahead in time. I'm gonna get a Bayou. I'm gonna hope he does not force this into having all the other cards he still needs. Blood Moon might be a problem because we didn't fetch a basic, but we have a Petal to play Enchantress. I'm not sure. If you take Grizzlebrand, wait, if he Blood Moons us next turn, he's not gonna have any blue mana to play the other stuff. He should Brainstorm first, but if he does, I mean, we have 4 basic forests in 51 cards. That's not great because he can't use Utopia's Sprawl. Wild Growth would be a lot better in this situation. If you take Brainstorm, then at least he'll be less. I think we take Grizzlebrand because if he pondered with the Show and Tell on top, I mean, Grizzlebrand will lose us the fastest. And I mean, with Blood Moon, we're both gonna be turtling for a long time. Him having only 3.5 minutes will mean leaving his Flusterstorm and Brainstorm dead. Then he's, oh, yeah. If he has the basic island, he might just Blood Moon here. Yeah, leaving the island on top from the ponder was different. I think it was a good choice because it would make us believe he was not going to Blood Moon. So, do we use our only green source yet? I think not. I think I want to wait a few more turns to see if our opponent has anything. He has used Blood Moon, he's used all these lands. I have used all these lands. As soon as I can actually cast something of the Argothian, I'm going to use the Petal to cast Argothian. But he might Show and Tell, give us the Argothian. And then we can use the Petal to actually... No, we don't have a target for Utopia's Sprawl, that's bad. It's Intuition into his Flusterstorm, Brainstorm. Like probably Show and Tell or like Crystal Brand, so some creature to put into play. Emrakul. Does he already have the show and tell? I sure as hell hope not. Yeah, this line really panned out for our opponent. Damn it. Now we need to top deck Banishing Light. Okay, we're gonna play the Argothian Enchantress. And then we're gonna die. This draws us one card, but he has enough mana to pay for it. Mirror's Guile isn't gonna do anything. We sacrifice anything, and next turn you're dead. Yeah. If we had fetched a basic turn 1 and not Thoughtseize him, no, you would have turned 2 Crystal Brand. If we fetched, well, if we still had a basic in our opening hand, I think we would have won this game. Like, we would have drawn so many cards. So, we're not... So what's our out? We can keep one card. We're not gonna use this because we need mana to pay the upkeep. Like, we're not gonna have use of any draw triggers, I think. Need to have a... Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. And I'm just gonna be a sour opponent and spam him with more triggers. Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess we lose. We could have won if we had a basic. And we're at minus 13 life. And we could have drawn into, I don't know, stuff. Wait, I'm gonna take a short toilet break and be back in like 2 minutes. And I'm back for round 4. We need to win one of the next 2 to get our 12 tickets back. But I think 4-on-1 would be the result this deck could potentially reach. Like, I think it's not unlikely to get 2 more wins. I mean, people think Enchantress is a bad tier 4 deck, but I think it might be tier 2.5 or something. If that's even important, which tier it is. Like with this version, I think I've usually won like 60% of my league matches. And I know, I mean, people always say like their deck has like a 60-40 or whatever, and this doesn't have like 60-40 against the whole field, but I mean, people just die to it randomly, I guess, or... And I've only played like 3 leagues with this so far, so like I think I went 4-1 once, 3-2, and 2-3, so that's like 3-2 on average. But it's also because like sometimes you just play against really janky decks, and that doesn't mean, or people have bad luck, and that doesn't mean that your deck is actually very good in the format. It's just good against the decks you randomly get paired against. And like in real life tournaments, I play against a lot more brewy decks, and also like old school non-blue decks like Maverick, which you don't see a lot of Magic Online. But like still, like lately I've seen a lot. Actually, I think on Magic Online I see a lot of new decks like Mono Red Storm that I've never seen in paper. And in paper you see a lot more of the outdated decks like Maverick, which are really not good anymore. But like people still have it in paper, they keep playing it. Merfolk, which is not a bad deck. It's just like old school, not really tier. Like people on Magic Online don't play it anymore. But some people have had it forever, and they never play anything else in paper. So time for dessert. So anyway, what I meant to say was, like, sometimes you just win like 2 games in a league because somebody's trying out the pile of really bad cards that people will never take to an actual real paper tournament. Like they might take you to Friday night testing games. Okay, if this was a forest, I would keep this. Now, Mad Scientist. Was that the guy who played Mono Red Storm? Nah, not sure. I feel like I shouldn't keep it, but I want to keep it and draw into... How many green sources do I play? 1, 2, 6, 7, 7 and 8 fetch lands. 7, 8 fetch lands, that's 15, and 16 with the Lotus Petal. 16 out of... I don't know, that's probably like 1 in 4, that's not good enough. Mulligan. Even though we have 2 draws. Oh, this is actually very good. Turn 1 Sprawl, turn 2 either play around Daze or just jam it if they don't look like a Daze deck. I'm gonna keep this. Gonna scry a on top in case our bio gets wasted. Falsies. I'm gonna yield to that. Was this the guy I played against who was on Dead Shadow with Infernal Contract and Claim Fame? It might be him. I mean, I played against him last week, so I should probably recognize the deck after we played some more cards. I think taking Enchantress presence, strange choice. Like, I don't know why we'd prefer it over Argotium. Maybe he has like Liliana to kill Argotium. or something to stop. But I think taking Utopia Sprawl, you can answer Argotium. I would take Utopia Sprawl, because then I turn 2 Argotium and turn 3. Wait, so I mean then turn 2 Argotium, they answer it, and turn 3 I Zenith instead of turn 2 Argotium and draw extra cards. This looks actually like a Turbo Depths deck. So and also by taking Argotium, I draw 1 less card this turn because I wouldn't be able to cast Utopia Sprawl, the second Sprawl this turn. So taking Sprawl or Argotium would slow me down more. Drawing a lot of cards. Is it gonna be Hexmage and Dark Depths? Oh yeah, this is the guy who was playing. This guy was indeed playing that Shadow deck with Claim Fame, but he just wasn't playing green yet, so maybe he wanted to add Sylvan Library and Infernal Contract. So on the one hand, I want to sprawl a land and be able to tap it for mana the same turn, but I don't remember if he plays Wasteland. So with Sylvan Library, he's gonna find his Wasteland if he has it in his deck. He's just gonna draw too many cards. So I'm going to sprawl this forest because I don't want to lose 2 mana to a Wasteland. I'm gonna name black, so I have green, white and black. Alright. And next turn I'm gonna Gideon's Intervention on the Shadow. Unless he has Thoughtseize for it. Yeah, this is exactly what I was meaning earlier. Like in paper, in a real tournament, I would never play against a deck like this. I mean, actually, maybe once in a while somebody might take it, but it's not really realistic that they would pay like a 20 euro entry fee, spend the whole day like just playtesting. Like on Magic Online, you can actually playtest. Oh, that's rough. I could have kept. Oh, I want to take the library. I want to float. See, I don't have enough mana to play a black spell. I want to float white as well. Ooh, elephant grass. I think he has nothing. No creatures that aren't actually black. So this is very good. Alright, I'm just gonna it is the same for me, like I just try really bad versions of Enchantress online with Illusion of Grandeur and stuff, and I would never take this to a real tournament as well either. Interesting. Yes, I want to pay. Yes, I want to cast this card. And Sadly, I didn't draw a land to put in confinements. If he draws him, this will be bad. But we're still in a very good spot, because we don't really need confinements at this point. We just need to make sure he doesn't deal too... When, like... He can only drain for 4 now, but... If this Detroit gets out of hand, that's the only way we can lose against him, I think. Or Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay plus him. Infernal Contract. No. Okay, this wouldn't have worked with... Whoa. If he had actually kicked it with Solitary Confinement out, he would be forced to target himself. He probably wouldn't have thought about it. I'm gonna pay 2, yes. I'm first gonna play this, because I'm 1 mana short of fetching Eidolon of Blossoms. And I need to draw cards this turn. Let's see. I'm not gonna discard the Solitary because we have a second one. So I might as well play the Plains. Otherwise I would keep the Plains to discard and then fetch Eidolon to get an extra draw trigger. Abrupt Decay? No. Oh, he wants to activate that, right. Makes sense. So, how do we deal 2 damage to him with a deck that has only 3 cards that actually deal combat damage? That's Doomake, Giant, Eidolon. What was I looking for? Yes. I'm not gonna pay Elephant Grass if he has a decay for our next confinement. I think I'm fine with that because it's not so much damage. I will not discard. No. And I will not pay 3 mana because that's gonna constrain our resources too much. Let's see, I can 5 mana Zenith for Eidolon. Actually, I shouldn't have played land in case the Eidolon trigger. In case Eidolon trigger gets me a Serra Sanctum. It's very bad playing a land before you actually know if you're not going to draw another better land. Or if you, before you know all your options. Okay. Maybe our Gotin had been better. I think because it's a him deck, I still want to protect myself against both the extra damage, and I'll just Zenith next turn. But I'm gonna have to sacrifice this, and then I need to draw an enchantment because I can only Zenith for Argotin anymore. And if you don't get any more draw triggers and we sacrifice this, and he gets to like look at the top 3 cards every turn, might actually be back in losing position. Does he have the decay? Just testing the waters. Yeah, that's right, is really big problem for this deck. If you're not finding your outs, like he can not discard. Ouch. I'm still gonna run out the Helm of Obedience to play around discard. Same for the Serra Sanctum. 1, 2, 3 mana. I mean, I clearly should have fetched Zenith for Argothian last turn and for Eidolon this turn, but it was more mana efficient, so I felt like doing it that way. It's 2, yes, I did it correctly. I'm gonna get Argothian. I'm gonna just drop Helm of Obedience. And I'm gonna pause the turn. And hope I finally start drawing enchantments. Because this deck is called Enchantress. After all, he doesn't do a lot without. I guess I'll take a resting piece off the top. Or Mirror's Guile. Or we don't have a second Banishing Light for the Deathrite. A Doomwake Giant. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, so I'm gonna sacrifice. Oh yeah, we are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 damage. We're gonna be at 3, and we are dead next turn. That's unexpected. 3, and then at. Wait, he doesn't have instant or sorceries yet. So okay, he's gonna Hymnos just to have something to exile. Oh, loses. He's gonna put us at 1. Then next turn. Okay, we really need the rest in peace. And we're dead. That's pretty unexpected. I'm expecting him to have decay. He does have a lot of discards that I may want to. He doesn't have anything worth engineered plaguing. Discard means this is good. If it's not on that shadow, I don't know if we need this. Carved of Flowers is bad. Doomwake would have been good. I guess we can cut this, even though we're testing it. This should be very good, because he has a lot of discard, and we have Leyline, I think solid, we can cut 1 solitary. And I'm gonna cut, I shouldn't cut a Zenith. Banishing Light stops his Sylvan Libraries. Same for X Sage. Strange, we didn't see any decay. Like, if you play a deck like this, you probably have abrupt decay in these colors, at least in the sideboard. I want to leave in the second helm. Actually, if he can't discard and counter us, we might not need the second helm. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. This is very risky. I can turn 1 Wild Growth, hope to top deck a land to play Enchantress Presence or Zenith, or I can play Mirror's Guile, but then I hope to draw a land, but I don't have a turn 2 play. I'm still gonna keep, like, because it's almost good enough. And I think I'm gonna get Mirror's Guile, because the chance of randomly drawing a land is like smaller than 50%. So I really shouldn't be trusting on that. And at least it will filter away like top decking ley lines. Okay. He might take Wild Growth here if he wants to slow us down. Maybe I should definitely have mulligans. But I'm a greedy person. I feel like I'm even greedier when I'm playing Enchantress. Because it has a lot of opening hands. They're only missing one card. It makes it very tempting. Okay, I do want the land. I probably want to shuffle and put a wild growth onto another land. In case we don't draw a third land after shuffling, at least we have the mana to zenith into getting its into making him sacrifice it. Into him making us sacrifice it. Yeah, Leyline would have been very good here. I hope we find Argotium, and then we have 3 mana to get an extra draw trigger. Because I think he will take Reasons in it. Yeah. Or at least a land to get 1 draw trigger. Land. We won't be needing these cards. I would like Utopia Sprawl. If this stays alive. But I'll take a random draw trigger and him killing our creature. At least it's 0-2 for 1. Alright, next turn black mana. Like this should be able to withstand most of his of the creatures he has in his deck. We're getting pretty nuked here. Black mana. Or something better. Yeah, not having Leyline in our opening hand. Like it would have made the 3 cards he played already very bad, having a Leyline. But I don't like mulliganing to Leyline. If we take Utopia Sprawl, and Thoughtseize do make Giant. If you take Forest and play Utopia Sprawl next turn, like it's basically the same. And playing Helm on an empty board doesn't do anything either. So I'm gonna take Utopia Sprawl on black. And hope he doesn't have any more Thoughtseizes. It's really strange, like we play 4 Elephant Grass, so our deck should be awesome against them. Maybe we sacrificed the Elephant Grass a bit too early. Last game, I don't remember how much mana we had. But, oh! If he doesn't have an out to Doomwake, he knows he will have Doomwake. Why does he play Dark Confidant into it? Whoa. Okay. Do I want to expose Rest in Peace or Helm to... No, we don't. Like, I'm actually just gonna draw the Forest. It will take 1 more turn to draw both combo pieces. At least we won't just lose to him Thoughtseizing it. So next turn, first we take Rest in Peace, because it's a better on empty board. Wait, it says Death Touch, we have to remember not to block. Okay, it doesn't matter. Man, I really wish we had a ley line. If we're going for the long play, presence could be better. Like if he has spitting needle. Like what can punish us for playing presence? Him surgicaling something random, and having to shuffle away our win condition. I mean, he probably did board in surgical because he uses this as a combo deck. But this way, I'm gonna be greedy here. I don't want to play the long game, I just want to win next turn. And he can't even surgical to shuffle our library anymore now. Little does he know that we are actually already having killed him. It looks like he doesn't actually play like he doesn't actually play the shadow anymore, or he just never drew it. I hope he does not concede, so we actually get to see his deck. Yes, it's great. Does he play that shadow? No, he plays Null Rod. That's bad. Pitting Needle. Vampire Nocturnus, so it's more like are they all vampires? So it's like Vampire Tribal. Okay, and Golgari Charm, that's good to know. So he has a lot of hate for Helm, so it's good that we boarded this out. Rex Sage should come in against all the Pitting Needle and Null Rod effects. Don't need any of these still. We can cut. Yeah, he has Golgari Charm, but I didn't think he has like more than one. He didn't seem to play Decay, so I'm gonna cut one Sterling Growth. Leyline, one time. No. This hand does nothing unless we top deck Basic Forest, which is like 10 chances in 35, no, 12 chances with like all fetch lands and Basic Forests. I didn't actually look if he had Wastelands. I think he didn't, maybe he did, yeah. I think he should, these colors. But I'm still gonna keep playing around Wasteland. I should have looked it. Does it actually say which cards are getting exiled in the chat log? No. So we're gonna mulligan this into Leyline or no Leyline. We're gonna keep because of Enchantress presence. Then he's gonna thought seize it away before we play it. I'm not gonna fetch because thinning the deck with one land card, but then shuffling back the Caracas we put on the bottom is actually a zero sum. And this way we still have flexibility when, like, if you have Mirror Scale and we need to fetch. Okay, now I want basic planes. So next turn, if we're not disrupted, I can fetch a Savannah and hardcast a Leyline. I prefer that to playing any of the other cards. does he know that we have a 4/6 to beat face with? Don't take my ley line out of my hand. Oh, naughty, naughty. That's right. I know it's a card that's difficult to cast. Oh, nil. On Helm. Yes. I'm fine with that. Okay. I'm gonna jam Rest in Peace first. And then Elfin Grass just to draw a card before fetching. Alright, if we draw Helm, we have the Rex Sage. I'm still gonna play out Helm first, I think, to play around this card. Because we only have one Helm and we still have Banishing Light to kill the Pithing Needle. Doesn't matter, at him. I really should not play my land if I only have 3 cards left. Should be playing more carefully if I want to win this game, because our hand is getting pretty empty. And he's gonna draw like a crazy lot of cards. I'm gonna fetch here just because I don't want to pay tap a double like an enchanted land. I'm not gonna play around Wasteland anymore. I hope I draw something. I draw something. Okay, this is actually not good, but at least it draws us a card. I mean, it's not good because we're gonna have to sacrifice it. But at least it draws a card and protects us from discard one turn. Next turn, if we sacrifice this, we have to sacrifice this. We can't fetch Eidolon if we keep both, but I think we want to keep at least one Elephant Grass, like the new one. And then we have to fetch. Sorry, my voice is I'm losing my voice a bit. So we're gonna fetch Argothian and hope we have 1 mana enchantment. Oh, we're not gonna fetch Argothian because he's gonna name Druid. Okay, we really needed a Rex Sage in this matchup. I hope he names human, because Argothian Enchantress is a human and a druid. Now I'm actually tempted to sacrifice the Elfin Grass and get the, because otherwise is it that card, and get the Eidolon. You can probably kill it, but it's the only way we get any value out of this card, and we can't hope to top deck a land. And like it's only preventing 2 damage for now. Yeah, he's covered. The Enchantress is a druid. I will not pay for any trigger. Okay. Nope. I will risk not paying for my Elfin Grass. Oh yeah, I forgot about that card. So we need exactly Banishing Light to win this. To beat the Pithing Needle. Or we need to go Doomwake without him having sacrifice effects for it. or he needs to die to confidence. I think with Sylvan Library, being able to always put the land back, he probably won't die to it. But if we can attack with Doomwake Giant one single time, do you only have one Doomwake left? Yeah, we're in a pretty bad spot. Gatekeeper of Malakir. Sacrifice this. Yeah, it's not the first time I lose to mono black. I mean, I call this mono black. Yeah, I've even lost to Bitter Blossom once, even though I had everything to stop it. I just chose the wrong card. Alright, Mirror's Guile is very good. I mean, it's one of our few outs in this situation. Like, we can drop the Helm to play around, discard spell, and then we have like 1 or 2 turns to find Banishing Light. We did not discard it yet, alright. And I'm just gonna tap this because it's still gonna be the same amount of warnings, and we get to f6 through our next turn this way. He really might lose to his confident if we manage to draw a Elephant Grass. We still have 2 in the deck and 1 Solitary Confinement. And playing Doomwake might actually be risky here because his confidence might be our best route to victory if we don't find the Banishing Light. Wow. I'm glad we dropped the Helm, because now his confident might kill him in 2 turns. If he doesn't find any 0 or 1 mana costs with Sylvan to put back on the top. So 2 more attacks and he kills me. Means I have 2 turns, but I have a fetch land to, if I don't like the top draws. I think because of his sacrifice effects I like Sterling Grove best. Then I can first shuffle, so it doesn't change the clock. Then I draw 2 cards and then I can tutor for something in my next upkeep if I don't like the top cards. But I'm not gonna sack it immediately because he might have a Golgari Charm in hand, ready to blow up Rest in Peace in response to the Helm activation if we find Banishing Light. Alright, we have a second Rest in Peace. I'm first gonna play our Gochin, but I'm gonna use 1 white mana because we have too many white. I'm gonna, let's see if I get a Banishing Light with one of the triggers. See, I can resolve the first one to see if we naturally draw into it. But we need 3 for Banishing Light, 1 for the activation, that's 4, and 1 for this activation is 5. So we can afford to try drawing it off the, like first drawing the Elephant Grass. Alright, so we needed 5 mana, right? We have 7. If we play Elephant Grass, we have 6. So if we don't draw it off, wait, what happened to our Enchantress? I thought we played it this turn. did he? Oh yeah, of course he has the Engineer Plague. How stupid. That's a waste of mana. So we can resolve the first trigger, but I'm gonna get Banishing Light of the second one. And I hope he doesn't have like a double decay on Rest in Peace or something like that. Banishing Light. Then we're gonna draw it. Then we're gonna cast Banishing Light. We're gonna draw 2 more cards. Please don't have a solution. We're gonna target the Pithing Needle. I hope he doesn't have the removal in response. I'm gonna activate Helm of Obedience for 1. Okay, that was not the easiest game. I don't think it matters, but because he doesn't concede, just gonna draw more cards. I'm gonna name black. He doesn't reveal any cards, and he dies. Yeah, it really surprised me with this Brewy deck. Alright, one more game, 4-on-1, we can do it. Like, as long as you survive the first turns, you can start drawing cards like now. Even if you're very far behind, like the deck can just generate, like find so many ways to find its out. Like the Mirror's Guile into Sterling Grove, into Banishing Light. Yeah, just not dying too early is very important. But the late, I think there are very few games with the late game, very few decks with the late game as strong as Enchantress. Now, by the way, one more thing that some people may notice is that there is no Emrakul in this deck, and it's because firstly, it's very good. It was very good against Miracles and like very slow control decks, but with Miracles gone, getting to 15 mana is just too slow against the Storm decks. I mean, it's actually also good against Show and Tell, which is the match we lost. But yeah, it was very good against Miracles. It's very good against Painter, which I haven't played against since Stop was banned, because they can't mill you with Grindstone unless you draw the Emrakul in your hand. But against Grixis Delver it's too slow, against Storm is too slow, against Death and Taxes getting to 50 mana is very hard. So I think only in one of the 4 matches we played I would have liked to have Emrakul. So it may be okay in the sideboard if I'm like bored of having a Trini Sphere or whatever. But I think in the main deck you'll just draw it and die with a dead card in your hand. So no Emrakul anymore. This hand on the draw is bad because it's only turn 3 Enchantress. And in Legacy against, I don't know, maybe Grixis Delver or whatever he could have. Turn 3 is not gonna do it for this deck. This one is good if he can scry to a second land or if he plays a lot of islands. I might keep this on top even if it's not land. So he can't daze our carpet. Okay, he's not on a blue deck. Maybe Stompy. That's what's the card? Goblin Ringleader. Alright. So this card is dead. And basically I'm gonna just go for the turn 2 Enchantress Presence. Wild Growth. And hope to draw a land so we can draw a card next turn. These two are gonna be basically fogs until we draw like a second or third Enchantress. Still gonna play them out just to prevent like 5 or 6 damage each turn. Because getting 2 free goblins is gonna really... oh yeah, he's gonna draw a lot more goblins. It's just gonna be too much damage each turn. Okay, he drew a Krenko. Yeah, second strike he's gonna put in Krenko. Then every turn he's gonna get 3 more goblins. I'm gonna go for... in the case where having the 20th land over the petal would have been good. So we really need white mana source next turn. Maybe not yet next turn, but this turn he's gonna deal 1, 2, 3, 4 damage and create 3 goblins, so he's gonna have 6. Next turn he's gonna have 12 goblins. Let's see. Next turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 possible damage. So we can survive one more turn. But we still need to fetch. So we're gonna be at 2 life. And yeah, I don't want to fetch now because it's wasteland. Yeah, if he draws like a Goblin Chieftain or Goblin Matron, we are dead. But otherwise, I'm gonna have like 2 fog effects. And then we might still die if we don't draw Elephant Grass of any of our triggers. 6 here. I'm surprised to see Goblin player in the 3-in-1 brackets, by the way. But it's good for him because I really like goblins to be a deck. I play old school deck, so I think other people should. They should still be viable. It shouldn't be tier 1. I really don't want to play against goblins like every 2 or 3 rounds on Magic Online. But every once in a while should be fine. Is he gonna attack with Krenko or not? He's thinking about it. I prefer this because I'm gonna have a few more life, like I'm gonna save 3 damage, and him making more tokens isn't gonna matter as much. Alright, I want to draw more land potentially, so I think I'm not gonna fetch here. Okay. He has a wasteland next turn for a savannah. It's very bad. So I wouldn't mind drawing another white source along the way. Okay, Mirror's Guile is okay. If we get a 4th mana source next turn, so we can play both of these. He did not stab Krenko. He does not need the goblins. Then why didn't he attack for 3 more damage? I think he does not know what solitary confinement is doing. I think he just doesn't read the cards you're playing. He just wants to do his thing. Upkeep, do not pay. Fortunately, we have another one. Discard card, no. Okay, we need to draw a green source of this trigger. Then we might... Oh, that's... We really needed a Mirror's Guile. If we had the Utopia Sprawl, I could have sprawled first for a white mana. I might actually not pay and discard an Enchantress Presence because it's pretty useless. Yeah, I think even though I'm losing out on 2 cards, like drawing Elephant Grass is not enough because he can pay 4 and attack for 5 damage. So I have to... Okay, this plays into Rishadan Port if goblins still play that card. But yeah, now I have to decide whether I want Enchantress Presence or Mirror's Guile. I think first I need Presence, then hope to draw a land of it and hit Mirror's Guile. Then I need to find the black source and Doomwake Giant. Oh, I already have Doomwake Giant. So I may name black for this. Then cast Presence, hope to draw a land and play Mirror's Guile. That's not a land, but next turn will Doomwake Giant be enough? Like it kills the tokens, it kills Instigator, it blocks Krenko and we take 2 damage. If it does not play Goblin, oh, we don't have 5 mana yet. Okay, then I need to keep Solitary Confinement. Discard Green Sunseemie or Helm, like gets 2 draw triggers, no 4 draw triggers. Okay, I have 2 Helms. I think Doomwake is my best bet here. And discard a card. I'm gonna discard Helm. I'm gonna play Mirror's Guile first. I might actually have seen it at first. But oh well. Okay, there's the lands. Yeah, I would have gotten an extra draw trigger. That's a misplay. Unless I find exactly Serra's Sanctum and can Doomwake Giant this turn. But I don't see a reason to play sloppy. Like, I mean, not play sloppy, but take risks. Because I think if we play this carefully, we have the win in hand. Like this card, he doesn't have any out to it, except maybe, what's it called? Maybe he has the cycling creature. Maybe he has, I don't know its name. cycle for 2 mana, deals damage equal to number of goblins to target creature. So I get to kill all goblins except these two, and then he can kill our Doomwing Giant. But I would be fine with that, because I still have one enchantment to keep drawing cards, even if I keep Solitary Confinement alive. Always no. So I can keep Solitary and Doomwing Giant, in case I want to play around him having the Gem Palm Incinerator is the name. Our opponent is drawing blanks. So first I want to scry, and then I will decide if I discard anything. I want... Do I even need Elephant Grass? I think... Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I think I want Elephant Grass first. And I'm gonna play it safe and keep Solitary Confinement for at least one more turn, until we're sure we can wipe the whole board. Because he's gonna have Krenko left. And Krenko alone doesn't do much, but there's no reason to take any risks when you have like the whole win in hand. Okay, you can almost see him read the card, like just by the time it takes to respond to it. Does he have Gem Palm Incinerator? I think he doesn't, because he didn't respond to the trigger. Yeah, this, by the way, this still protects us from Tarfire into Tarfire. So I think we should keep it as long as possible. Or maybe as like the Kiki Jiki Firecrafter combo. Like, there are still things he can do to us without attacking. So I think we should not sacrifice this. He probably doesn't have green or white splash, so to kill our stuff. Engineered Plague seems fine. Humility does nothing. Rex Sage, maybe. Swords to Plowshares, maybe, if we don't have enough cards. Like in case he goes turn 1 lucky and we need to answer it. Gideon's Intervention, he has too many differently named cards. Eidolon may be slow, but oh yeah, Carpet is a dead card. So we leave in 2 plows because we have the space for it. Turn 1 Argothian into Elephant Grass into Solitary Confinement. I like this. That's why we have the Lotus Petal. Exactly to just speed us up 1 turn. And he also wants to have broken turn 1s. Yeah, like a hand like this is why I cut the Chromox. Because if I had to exile Elephant Grass or Solitary Confinement, it would be a lot worse. I feel like playing around Blood Moon. You never know if any red deck suddenly thinks like, oh, let's hide it in. So I'm gonna fetch first to a basic. Because it doesn't cost us anything except 1 life. Okay, this is fine. Like, he doesn't have any creatures to actually put into play after triggers. So it's just 6 damage doing nothing. I'm gonna Utopia Sprawl my forests, and then I'm gonna Elephant Grass. Or I'm gonna double Elephant Grass. Just for more draw triggers. Okay, he can pay for 6 damage. 4 damage of the Warren Instigator. So I think I want to sacrifice 1 Elephant Grass, because I need 3 mana next turn. Whether I draw Enchantress Presence or just to play Solitary Confinement. But then that means he can actually attack for 6 next turn. Yeah, I think we need to keep playing cards. We can't just sit here and pay and do nothing, because he has 4 mana to deal 4 damage every turn. And now we can deal 6. Okay. I'm gonna jam the Sanctum into a possible wasteland, because now I will have 1 green left if I draw like a Utopia Sprawl or Wild Growth. No, I don't. I sacrifice Solitary, because I can't keep chaining spells, so I will pay 2 for... Okay, that's pretty bad. I will pay 2 for Elephant Grass, because you only pay 1, because the Serra Sanctum compensates by adding 1 more if we keep the Elephant Grass. Yes, I pay. I mean, he can actually pay to attack for both creatures, so I may want to sacrifice it if he doesn't play any creature next turn. I don't discard. Is there a reason not to fetch this turn? If he has like Starfire, 6, 7, 8 damage. Oh, but he can't pay for attack plus Starfire. I'm still just gonna play it safe. Oh, we can't even pay 4 for Helm of Obedience. I might have to chain double Serra Sanctum next turn if I draw like a Rest in Peace. Oh, he did have the Blood Moon, and I did not fetch my basic planes. That's bad. Do we prevent any damage by paying? Next turn he can attack for 6 if he wants, and then no. Only if he draws like a haste creature. This is a bad play. Oh. Now I'm gonna pay the red mana. Oh, nothing. Playing. That's gonna cost 5, never mind. I still only have 4 mana. Yeah. We need something very soon. Yeah, On the one hand, I find it strange that people board Blood Moon against a deck with a lot of basics, but it's really been screwing with us every time, like against Show and Tell in this game as well. So I think they might be actually onto something. It's gonna be 6 damage. And I'm gonna need a very good top deck. Oh wow, you can actually sacrifice 2 goblins, so we should have kept the elephant grass. So he couldn't have the mana to sacrifice them. Why is he not killing us? Okay. The hand looked better. Oh yeah, we drew Rest in Peace and we would have drawn, I don't know. I may want more Swords of Plowshares against like the very aggressive opening. Helm of Obedience feels a bit slow. If he has like all the hate permanents. Banishing Light seems fine, all these seem fine. I think I'm gonna got a Helm in case he has hate for it. Like he can't discard or counter it. That's the main reason to want a second Helm. Do you want to play first? Yes. This hand is very good. Turn 2 Enchantress into kill something if we have to. And draw. We're gonna get like 2 draw triggers of the Enchantress presence. If he has turn 1 Instigator, I'm not sure if you want to plow it or if you want to play Enchantress Presence first. I think we want to plow it because that's gonna save us more time than playing Enchantress Presence first is gonna buy us. Like this gets us 1 turn ahead, but him getting 2 free goblins into play will put him like 2 or 3 turns and like 5 or 6 mana ahead, depending on how. Like if he has Ringleader even, it's gonna be an even bigger advantage. So we can't let him get any free creatures into play. It's strange that he kept in Stink Scourger, because like he can only target what's it called, Doomwake Giant and Eidolon of Blossoms, both of which are not really problematic for me. Whoa, he doesn't have a land. That's great. And I'm gonna Enchantress Presence. I'm gonna Sprawl for black. And now we should be far enough ahead. Next turn we have 5 mana. We can draw a card if we need to, and we can end of turn plow is lucky. Yeah, just like against Death and Taxes, I'm just gonna punish them for keeping a greedy hand. They probably think like, oh, Enchantress doesn't play a lot of artifact hate or counters, so their vial would be safe. But it isn't. Oh, I actually wouldn't mind if this thing Scourger this. Sphere of Resistance. Sure. It's annoying, but Engineer Plague on Goblin should be even more annoying for him. How does it know there's already Goblin? Oh, probably it's already suggesting it because of the imprinted card. That's useful. Thank you, Modo. Is he gonna concede? Or is he just typing? And attack for 10 turns and win. Yeah, I can see him keeping the hand, like turn 1 File into turn 2 Sphere of Resistance if he had top deck a land. It's really good against a lot of decks. Like, I think a lot of combo decks or even control decks would have a hard time against it. Wait, why am I fetching? I only need 4 mana for that one. I can use 6 mana to get a Eidolon if I didn't side it out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Maybe greedy against him having removal, but I like getting extra draw triggers. And I like maximizing my use of mana as much as possible. Done. I want Eidolon. I want to draw a... What's it gonna be? Solitary Confinement. Not the best. Just a fog at this moment. Or draw 2, like Divination or something. Yeah, 3 mana, draw 2, that's Divination. I'm surprised they're not conceding. Play Divination. 1 draw, second draw. Then gonna play... Oh, okay. Our opponent conceded, rightfully so. And we finished the league at 4-1, just losing to Show and Tell due to the Blood Moon. That's not bad. I hope everybody learned something about, I don't know, Enchantress, like to improve their own play. Okay, that's 15. No, that's not... No, that's not a... I'm not gonna stop opening chests until this is like exactly 600 or 660. Oh, Lantern should... It's at least played in Modern. Oh, 30 play points, that's good. If you open 20 play points now, I'm just gonna sell the chests for tickets from now on. Because there are just too many feel bad chests, and you never open Liliana anyway. Didn't I just open one? That's strange. Maybe I misclicked. Okay, or maybe I disconnected because Modo is not responding. Let's see. I'm already gonna return my deck, and if this responds, that means I'm still online. No. Magical line is broken. Or my connection is broken. So anyway, I just mainly wanted to showcase my my own build of Enchantress, of course, and get people interested in playing it again. Because I stopped playing it on Magic Online in January. I had some okay results with it before, but then Leovold started getting popular. But right now, like, you will see a Leovold deck maybe once in every 10 rounds on Magic Online, like maybe every 2 leagues, or maybe once every league if you take if you're unlucky. But that's why I have the Swords of Plowshares, and often you just don't even meet the Leovold decks. Or with Helm of Obedience you can kill them even without drawing more cards. Like the Emrakul version is very bad against Leovold, because to get to 15 mana you need to have like Sprawl a land, draw 3 cards of your Enchantress, draw into another Sprawl, then put the Sprawl onto the land. But yeah, Helm of Obedience, that's also why I need 2 Helm of Obedience, because the chance of drawing them naturally, if you're fighting a Leovold, are just a lot better if you have 2 of them. Let me see, come on Magic Online, I want to open some chests. Ooh, Abrupt Decay promo version. That's I like the old art for my own decks, but it has some appeal to me even. Alright, with this amount of points I can join like 5.5 leagues, so I think, no, I mean, I'm gonna finish these, and if I don't open any more play points, I might start selling the chests next. Oh, too bad. And to be honest, I also like opening chests because I think the prices of cards should go down on Magic Online. And it's just ridiculous that like Liliana is $60, like 50 euros. And if nobody opens their chests, they're not going to be opened anymore of these expensive cards. I once opened Liliana like last year. And yeah. And I think the EV of a chest is almost the same as the price you can get by selling it to goat bots. So I mean, if I open like 100 of them, I will have averaged like the price I would have gotten by selling them anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I think I don't have enough mana hours to record another one before the 20th. So like maybe in 4 or 5 days I can record another video again, because this is just gonna give me 1 hour of playing with the deck anymore for the next 4 days. Alright, see you soon.